The objectives of this module are to get an understanding of the database-oriented approach, to learn about the drawbacks of traditional file-oriented approach, to know about the various terms associated with databases, to learn about the various database languages, to understand the different types of uses. The term database refers to a collection of data that is multidimensional in the sense that internal links between its entries make the information accessible from a variety of perspectives. Database systems arose in response to early methods of computerized management of commercial data. For example, consider a part of a bank enterprise that keeps information about all customers and saving accounts along with other data. If these information are stored as operating system files to allow users to manipulate the information, the system has a number of application programs like programs to debit or credit an account, add a new account, find the balance of an account, generate monthly statement, etc. New application programs are added to the system as and when needed. As a result, the system acquires more files and more application programs. This typical file processing system is supported by a conventional operating system. The system stores permanent records in various files and different application programs need to extract and add records to files. Keeping organizational information in a file processing system has a number of disadvantages such as data redundancy and inconsistency, accessing difficulty, data isolation, integrity problems, atomicity problems, concurrent access anomalies, and security and flexibility problems. These difficulties paved the way for database systems. Database-oriented approach. A database is a system that converts a large collection of data into an abstract tool, allowing the users to search for and extract pertinent items of information in a manner that is convenient to the user. These systems are designed to manage large bodies of information. Management means defining structures for storage of information and providing mechanisms for the manipulation of information. It should also ensure the safety of the information stored from system crashes or unauthorized access. Information is important as far as the organization is concerned. Hence, a large number of concepts and techniques are developed for managing data. Nowadays, databases are widely used. Some important applications are for reservation and scheduling information of airlines, to manage the student information in universities, banking information management, in telecommunication to keep the call records, to generate monthly bills and to store the communication network information, in finance for storing information about holdings, sales and purchases of financial instruments such as bonds and stocks, in human resource management to keep the information about employees, salaries, payroll, taxes, etc. The increased use of internet increased the direct user access to databases. Many of the organizations converted their phone interfaces to web interfaces and made a variety of services and information available online. Even though user interfaces hide details of access to a database and the people are not aware of their dealing with a database, accessing database forms an essential part of the day-to-day life of almost everyone. Oracle, a database system vendor, is one of the largest software companies in the world today, which shows the importance of database systems now. Schemas. Historically, computers were used in information management with large collection of data. If the different but related items were stored in separate systems, much of the information required by an organization was duplicated throughout the company. The database systems emerged to integrate the information stored by a particular organization. But the data integration has the disadvantages like sensitive data may be accessed by an unauthorized user, etc. Hence, Control to access the information as well as the sharing of information in the database is important. To provide different users different information within the same database, database systems uses schemas and subschemas. A schema defines the overall design, whereas a subschema defines only a portion of the database specifying a particular user's needs. The collection of information stored in the database at a particular time is called an instance of the database. The overall design of the database is called database schema. Database systems have several schemas according to the levels of abstraction. The physical schema describes the database design at the physical level. The logical schema describes the database design at the logical level, and the subschema describes the different views of the database. The logical schema is the important of these three because the programmers develop applications by using the logical schema. The physical schema is lying under the logical schema and hence not much affects the application program. Data abstraction. A database system is a collection of interrelated data and a set of programs that allow users to access and modify these data. The database system provides users only an abstract view of data by hiding the inner complexities of storing and maintaining it. There are different levels of abstraction as far as the users of the database systems are concerned. Physical level. This is the lowest level of abstraction and describes how the data are actually stored. It describes the details of low-level data structure. Logical level. The next higher level of abstraction is at logical level. It describes what data are stored in the database and what the relationships among those data are. Database administrators use the logical level of abstraction because they decide what information to keep in the database. View level. The highest level of abstraction is possible in view level. The view level describes only a part of the entire database. This level is provided to simplify the interactions with the system. The same database can be viewed in different ways. At the physical level, a student record can be described as a block of consecutive storage locations like bytes or words. These details are hidden from the programmers. The physical organization of the database may be known only to the administrators. At the logical level, each such record is described by a type of definition and their relationship may be defined. In the view level, computer users see a set of application programs in which the details of data types are hidden. The views also provide a security mechanism to prevent users from accessing certain parts of the database. Database management system. A database management system or DBMS is a collection of interrelated data and a set of programs to access those data. The collection of data is referred by the name database. The goal of a DBMS is to provide an environment that is both convenient and efficient to use. The database management system is the major software component of a database system. Ingres, Oracle, Sybase, etc. are some commercially available DBMS. It is a combination of software and hardware that can be used to set up and monitor the database and can also be used for the updating and retrieval of database which is stored in it. The capabilities of a DBMS include creation, addition, deletion and modification of files and data, retrieving data collectively or selectively. The data stored can be indexed or sorted. Generation of reports, manipulation of database with mathematical functions and maintenance of data integrity, create an environment for data mining and data warehousing. A DBMS is served as an interface between the user and databases. When the user requests to retrieve the information from a database, the DBMS of that database processes this request and presents the required information to the user. The DBMS can be accessed directly from a terminal or can be coded as high-level language programs. A query is often the request to the DBMS and it responds to a query by invoking the appropriate subprograms to execute its function to interpret the query. As said before, the database consists of a collection of related files of different types of records, and the DBMS helps the users to access the data without giving any background details such as the location of the database and the organization of them. The role of a DBMS can be compared to that of a salesperson. A customer specifies the items he wants to the salesperson at the counter. The salesperson retrieves the items from the store and presents it to the customer. Customer does not have any idea about where these items are stored and how they are actually organized in the store. He simply selects the desired items from an alphabetical list and places the order. But the logical order in the list may not have any relationship with the actual arrangement of the goods in the store. Likewise, a user needs to know only what data he requires. The remaining part is done by the DBMS. All the data items about which information is stored in the database are called entities. The characteristics of entities are called attributes. These attributes can have simple values like number or text or a picture or some sequence of sound. The association among entities in the database is called relationships. One of the key features of the database approach is the distinction between the logical structure and physical structure of data. Logical structure refers to the way in which the programmer sees it, and the physical structure refers to the way data are actually residing in the storage medium. Advantages of DBMS: reduction of redundancies. Centralized control of data avoids duplication of data and hence reduces the amount of storage space required. If there are any redundancies exist in the DBMS, they will be controlled and ensures that these copies are consistent. Sharing data. DBMS allows the sharing of data among any number of application programs under some controlled environment. Data integrity. Centralized control also ensures the necessary checks in the DBMS to provide data integrity, which means that the data in the database are accurate and consistent. Data security. For an organization, the data is important. Unauthorized access is denied for the database by implementing proper access procedures and proper authentication schemes within the DBMS. Different views of the same database also ensure that unauthorized persons will not access the confidential data. Resolution of conflicts. Database administrator controls the entire database. The DBA resolves the conflicting requirements by selecting the best file structure and access methods to get optimal performance. Data independence. Data independence is of two types, such as physical data independence and logical data independence. Physical data independence allows changes in physical organization without requiring changes in the external view or conceptual view. Thus, files can be moved from one physical media to another without affecting the application programs using this database. Logical data independence implies that the conceptual schema can be changed without affecting the existing external schema. That is, if fields are added to records or deleted from records, the application programs need not be changed. This data independence is similar to the concept of abstract data types in modern programming languages. Both will hide the implementation details from the user. Disadvantages of DBMS. The DBMS is expensive. It is very costly to develop or purchase the software. It requires the hardware and workspace to be upgraded. The processing overhead, which involves the mechanisms to implement integration, security and sharing, will degrade the response and throughput times. The lack of duplication requires the database to be backed up frequently to recover the data in the case of system failure. The centralization and security measurements violate the interrupt and operation of the organization because of the downtimes and failures. Database languages. A database system provides different types of languages to work with the databases. A data definition language or DDL is used to specify the database schema, and the data manipulation language or DML is used to express the database queries and updates. These two languages are parts of a single database language such as SQL languages. Data definition language. The data definition language is used to specify the database schema and additional properties of the data. The storage structure and access methods are specified by a type of DDL called the data storage and definition language. These statements define the implementation details that are hidden from the users. This definition includes all the entity sets, their attributes and the relationships among these entities. This definition also includes the constraints that have to be maintained while updating the database. The integrity constraints associated with database systems that can be tested with minimal overhead include domain constraints, referential integrity constraints, assertions and authorization. The output of the DDL is placed in the data dictionary containing metadata. The data about data in the database is referred to as metadata. The data dictionary is in the form of a table that can be accessed and updated only by the database system itself before reading or modifying actual data. Data manipulation language. The data manipulation language enables the users to access or manipulate data as organized by the specified data model. The different types of accesses are insertion of new data, retrieval of information stored in the database, deletion of data from the database and modification of the data stored in the database. There are mainly two types of DML such as procedural DMLs and declarative DMLs. Procedural DMLs require a user to specify what data are needed and how to get those data. Declarative DMLs or non-procedural DMLs require a user to specify what data are needed without specifying how to get those data. A query is a request to retrieve the information. The part of a DML that involves information retrieval is called a query language. The query processor component of the database system translates DML queries into sequence of actions at the physical level of the database systems. Database architecture. Database management systems are complex softwares which were developed and optimized over years. From a user's viewpoint, most of them have a similar architecture, but the internal structure of the system varies a lot. The architecture of a database system is highly dependent on the underlying computer system on which the database system runs. The database system can be centralized or client server or distributed. Database systems are generally partitioned into 2 or 3 parts. In a two-tier architecture, the application is partitioned into a component that resides at the client machine. This will invoke database system functionality at the server machine with query language systems. Application program interface standards like ODBC and JDBC are used for interaction between the client and the server. In a three-tier architecture, the client machine acts as a front end and does not contain any direct database calls. The client end communicates with an application server commonly through a form interface. The application server then communicates with the database system to access data. For large applications and for applications that run on the World Wide Web, three-tier architecture is more appropriate. The difference between a three-tier architecture and a two-tier architecture can clearly be identified with the help of the following figure. Database users. The people who work with databases are categorized mainly into database users and database administrators. We will see them in detail. According to the way of interaction with the system, there are 4 types of database system users. Different types of user interfaces have been designed for the different types of users. They are native users, application programmers, sophisticated users and specialized users. Native users. They are unsophisticated users who interact with the system by invoking one of the application programs that have already been written. The typical user interface for the native users is forms in which the user can fill in the appropriate fields to specify the required data. These type of users just read the reports generated from the database. Application programmers. The computer professionals who develop application programs come under this category. They are free to choose any tools to develop the application or user interfaces. Rapid application development or RAD tools help the application programmers to write forms and reports with less programming effort. Sophisticated users. These types of users interact directly with the system without writing programs. They use query languages to specify the queries and then submits these to a query processor. Specialized users. The sophisticated users who write specialized database applications rather than traditional data processing are called specialized users. The CAD systems, knowledge base and expert systems, environment modeling systems, etc. are specialized applications whose data sets are of complex types. The other category is Database Administrator or DBA. We know that one of the important reasons for using DBMS is the central control of data and programs. A person having a central control of the system is called the DBA or Database Administrator. The main functions of the DBA are schema definition, storage structure and access method definition, modification of schema and physical organization, authority of giving permission for data access, routine maintenance such as backing up the database, disk space management and monitoring of running jobs. Now we will summarize what we have discussed. Here an introduction to the database oriented approach is given. The module starts with a reference to the significant drawbacks of traditional file systems. Then it goes through the database oriented approach and defines the terms schema and subschema. Different levels of abstraction in the database such as physical level, logical level and view level are discussed in detail. The concept of DBMS such as data abstraction, database languages and database structure are briefly discussed. The module ends by giving an account of various database users and DBA. Before we conclude, please try to answer the following questions. Explain the functions of a DBA. Write a note on database architecture. Explain DDL and DML. What are the limitations of traditional file systems? What is meant by DBMS? Explain the features. What is meant by schema? Books for your reference: J. Glenn Brookshire, Computer Science An Overview, 10th edition, Addison Wesley. A. Silberschatz, H. F. Koth, S. Sudarshan, Database System Concepts, 5th edition, McGraw-Hill. Hope you enjoyed this session. See you next time. Until then, bye.